We left off with My News Media desperate for an interview, somehow discovering the whereabouts of our couple and suddenly showing up at the undisclosed hotel reportedly under lockdown. So much for safety. Like butterflies in our web, comrade. But then again, Mary did express her willingness to be interviewed, even at the cost of your lives? Is she ignorant of how dangerous the near future she now inhabits is? Or has her trust in the Lord grown that strong? Welcome to CatholicTV.us, where Christ's light dispels darkness. Let's pick up where we left off at the hotel restaurant with Father Chris, distressed by the reporter's betrayal.
You Judas! You lied about not knowing my whereabouts and assured me you'd respect their privacy to ensure my friends' safety. You knew darn well that they're on the media's hit list.
No, it's okay. We can do the interview right here, right? Father Chris, you've been chosen to enter our story, so you've got to prepare yourself for incredible things while never doubting God's providential hand in all this. With our days already numbered to Him who orders all things, there's no need to worry about His protection. Rather, let's demonstrate our trust in Him as we remain steadfast in His service.
But Mary, you don't go to the devil to serve the Lord. These guys give me the creeps.
Yeah, me too. But what else have we been sent here to do? Dine and lay by the pool? Father Chris has been brought into our story, and now we have a live interview. Can we say no?
Have you noticed that our phones, the medals, and the brooch Daniel gave us are missing?
What? I thought you had them. They're gone?
Yep. I think they were stolen while we were getting ready for dinner. Further, wouldn't you say that server is the spitting image of that hoodlum Elijah rescued us from the morning of our Chernobyl adventure? If you ask me, it looks like Haman and his minions are up to their tactics again. Is there no peace for us? How I wish the Lord would just tell us what to do.
Yeah, tell me about it. I keep reminding myself that no loving parent would raise up children to be checklist-following robots to avoid participation in trials that help them mature. And voila, here we are.
Dr. Mary, Dr. Ludwig, My News Media's portable studio is ready. You don't have to go anywhere. They only need 20 minutes, and you'll be done before they start serving dinner.
3, 2, 1, roll 'em.
Dr. Mary, on account of recent events, your work has created quite a stir. Some claim you have access to
undisclosed historical data.
Others insist
you're a psychic.
While some conspiracy holdovers have rumored that you're government-funded time travelers.
For the record, would you finally settle the matter
once and for all? Are you psychic or in possession of secret data?
Neither.
Then you're government-funded time travelers?
Government-funded? Not a chance. Time travelers? What time is it?
4 o'clock.
And now?
The same time.
Not quite. It's slightly later than when you first said, because time never stands still. Every fraction of a second immediately becomes the past. Further, it isn't 4 o'clock everywhere. A person in China, on planet Mars, or on a spaceship moving near light speed would all disagree with you. In that sense, by simply existing and moving, we're traveling through time.
So we're all time travelers.
In the mundane sense, yes. The more dramatic sci-fi version is another matter, as is time on the other side of physical death.
People who've had near-death experiences talk about tunnels in life, almost like a time tunnel.
What might feel like days to a person who briefly flatlines in a hospital and has an out-of-body experience is perceptual and spiritual, but not physical time travel as we understand it, as measured by the movement of our planet in relation to the sun, as a sundial shows. The majority correctly understand time as being created by God, moving in one direction, and with a purposeful end in His final culmination of it. Though our linear design differs from the Eastern cyclical views, all agree we experience time, not control it. Unlike God, who knows all, is outside of time, and can create ex nihilo, out of nothing at all, we must understand such things by way of analogy or comparison to things we know. For example, try to create a new color. You can't. You can only remix the ones already created.
I never thought of that.
Sadly, a segment of society will always have trouble acknowledging a higher intelligence, one for whom all things are possible. And when this higher intelligence demonstrates his supernaturalness, the culture balks because it is being forced to recognize that we're not God. The traditional Catholic view, on the other hand, appreciates God's omniscience and understands time in the realistic, divinely purposed sense in terms of a summarizing end time that culminates teleologically and eschatologically.
Teleologically and eschatologically what?
It ends teleologically with design, with purpose and a reason, the why of time's existence. And it has an eschatological end that concerns death, judgment, and the final destiny of humankind and all souls within the present order of things, the end time.
And time itself?
Ecclesiastes, traditionally ascribed to King Solomon, depicts time as being beyond human control, and that there is an appropriate season or time for every activity. Plato understood that time was created at the moment the heavens, the universe, was. He and Aristotle tied time to motion, i.e., we track time because things move. Augustine pointed out that time is mysterious and asks, what then is time? If no one asks me, I know. If I wish to explain it to one that asketh, I know not. So he begins by defining time by what it is not rather than what it is. However, in the end, he calls it a distension of the mind by which we simultaneously grasp the past in memory, the present by attention, and the future by expectation. He and Aquinas described God as being outside of time and seeing all events simultaneously. Time did not exist before God, and God created time. Newton saw time as absolute, ticking the same everywhere. He viewed us as merely occupying time, and that we can only understand relative time. Time, being independent of events, therefore precludes our attempts to control it.
And modern science?
Einstein upended our understanding by giving us two theories of relativity. Special relativity in 1905 showed that 1. The speed of light is the universe's speed limit, and 2. The time and space are linked. Moving through space changes your rate of moving through time.
When we speak of time, we must always ask, for whom? For an observer moving with his clock, the interval is simple. But if you are moving...
General relativity, 1915, added gravity by showing that space itself behaves like a flexible fabric. Massive objects bend this fabric, and time slows down near them.
Time slows down?
Yes. If you're next to something very massive, like a planet or a black hole, your watch ticks normally to you, but someone far away sees it ticking more slowly. This is called time dilation, and it has been experimentally confirmed with atomic clocks, satellites, and even fast-moving airplanes.
So, is time travel possible? Define possible. Moving forward in time faster than others is already real physics. This happens whenever astronauts orbit Earth or GPS satellites adjust for time dilation. But traveling to the past raises contradictions.
Like the grandfather paradox, where a man travels back in time to kill his own grandfather before the grandfather's child, the man's parent, is born. The idea being that it's impossible because the man's parent, the child of the grandfather, had to be born for the man to exist.
Exactly. The Novikov self-consistency principle basically says if something would lead to a paradox, the universe simply won't allow it. History must, therefore, be an unchangeable constant, and, on account of causality constraints, time travel to the past must be impossible. Should an effect precede its cause, it would give rise to the possibility of a temporal paradox.
As illustrated in many works of fiction, either free will then ceases to exist in the past, or outcomes of such decisions are predetermined. You see the problem.
Well, what about multiverse theories?
The many worlds interpretation suggests every quantum event branches into new timelines. If that could be proven, paradoxes could be avoided because you'd only affect the branch you jump into, not your original history.
In the many-universe model, traveling to your own past doesn't overwrite the life you came from. Instead, the moment you appear creates a branch.
But that idea remains theoretical and untested.
What about faster-than-light particles?
Purely hypothetical, if tachyons existed, their equations would imply an imaginary mass and possible backward-in-time behavior. However, as yet, there's zero evidence for them. Einstein's general relativity does allow closed time-like curves, loops in space-time that could let you return to your own past, But every proposed example requires conditions, like a rotating universe, that don't match what we observe. Charming ideas, no doubt, but terrible practicality, studies conclude.
So the final answer regarding time travel is, drumroll,
Forward time travel happens every day, thanks to relativity, and astronauts in orbit experience measurable time dilation, causing them to age slower.
but backward time travel creates logical contradictions, remains unverified, and is not supported by known physics. So, if I come across a time machine, it belongs in fiction or philosophy, not in the lab.
However, as Dr. Ludwig and I noted in 2025, a compelling theory by Dr. Lorenzo Gavesino, published that year in Classical and Quantum Gravity, argued that quantum mechanics and thermodynamics can resolve paradoxes and time loops, making paradox-free travel theoretically possible.
Really?
The core idea regards closed time-like curves, or CTCs. Einstein's general relativity predicts exotic space-time geometries like wormholes or cosmic strings that could allow loops in time. Gavesino's work explores how these loops interact with quantum mechanics. His research shows that macroscopic systems, like humans or spaceships, traveling through such loops would evolve in ways that prevent paradoxes. For example, you couldn't meet your younger self in a way that breaks causality.
Resolving the grandfather paradox.
Exactly. So, instead of forbidding time travel, Gavesino's model suggests the universe self-consistently adjusts events so contradictions never occur. So if, for example, you went back to stop COVID, it would still emerge by another route, preserving consistency. This aspect is of particular interest to us.
Because of miracles like that Chernobyl pine tree and the nearby city that were spared in the nuclear plant's explosion on account of having been retroactively blessed, as you somehow know.
Recalling those priests at Hiroshima who miraculously passed unharmed through that nuclear annihilation. In short, if God wills it or allows it to occur, not even a time traveler could stop it.
Gavesino's model is compelling in its quantum mechanics integration because, unlike earlier theories like Germain Tobar's 2020 paradox-free model, Gavesino's model ties time travel directly to quantum statistical mechanics, thus making it more robust and with practical implications.
Though theoretical, it does suggest that if exotic space-time structures exist, paradox-free time travel could be possible without violating physics.
So theoretically, you two could have been sent back to bless something to affect a future outcome which would explain your knowledge of certain unknowable things.
That perhaps would only have come to be known through divine intervention.
Like through a vision, a locution, or a Bedouin shepherd boy throwing a rock into a cave and discovering the most significant archaeological find of the 20th century.
The Dead Sea Scrolls, absolutely.
And maybe your enigmatic artifacts as well. Or perhaps you were sent back in time.
So what is time to the one who created it? On behalf of King Hezekiah, the Lord gave the prophet Isaiah this sign. This is the sign to you that the Lord will do this thing that he has promised. Behold, I will make the shadow cast by the declining sun on the dial of Ahaz turn back 10 steps. So the sun turned back on the dial the 10 steps by which it had declined. This time reversal is also recorded in 2 Kings and 2 Chronicles.
Yeah, but that's Old Testament history. What do they know?
In AD 1917, not only did the Lord move the sun before 70,000 witnesses, including the anti-religion media there to debunk it, but instantly dried the rain-soaked people and landscape as rainbow-like flakes of light fell from the sky. Since the Great Flood, humanity often witnesses the sign of God's covenant with the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth, and the bow is seen in the clouds, I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. God said to Noah, "This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth." Could not God allow someone to affect something in the past, that the efficacy of our human actions might be made known?
As you said, all things are possible.
With men, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible.
And Scripture also reveals that all things are possible to him who believes.
Which brings us to our final question. Was it your belief or something more enigmatic that enabled you to know such things?
Ah, how inquisitive these detestable lackeys are! Let the Inquisitions begin, that we may test to their destruction my traitorous minion, my once precious little runaway, and her heart-thieving beau. So distracted these lackeys are with the maker they'll soon meet, they haven't prepared for my final tests. And now there's no dodging it. So sad.
Is our couple prepared to reveal their impossible story to a dangerously hostile world through the inquiries of Hamu's disenchanted disciple? Will God allow it, or will Elijah be sent to rescue our couple? Mark your timepieces, friends, and we'll see you in the next episode.